perspective. So when it comes to mains, the answer writing becomes the important aspect. Literally all our understanding, our knowledge in issues has to be represented in the format of mains answers, right? And the mains has three major feature components. The first is introduction, second is body, and third is conclusion. This is how we write very systematic, organized content within the available space in the mains booklet. So within the introduction, we are supposed to have the context of the issue and the background of the issue, preferably. That will give the examiner or the person who is checking the paper that the person is well read and has gone through all the current affairs and is quoting that particular event which has appeared, and the question has been framed accordingly. And that becomes a marks fetching area for you. So try to quote context or background, if any, that appeared in the news, if you remember. If not, then sprinkle some facts and figures which are relevant. This will add a lot of value in the very beginning of the answer writing, right, related to that issue. A lot of facts and figures you need to gather and keep it like an armor and release each fact and figures like that, subject wise. Then you can quote some important committees we have across different subjects. Polity, economy, we have various committees and reports that are being there, very important. Try to fetch some important components from them, collate them and keep them like an armor, and try to sprinkle in the answers. Some indices, important indices, or some judgments in polity related issues, and some important acts to remember. So you need to have all these things covered with yourself to try to sprinkle in any answer that you are going to attempt. And within the body, we have based on the questions demand, you need to write in favor and against pointers. You need to consider the both pros and cons of things and try to systematically organize them in the bullets format. Then concepts and examples. So the kind of body that you're going to write should be mostly explaining a concept, taking a pointer, major theme, and give some examples. There will be examples, because when you give a pointer in particular line of thought, you need to substantiate that with examples. When you do that, then that will give a very powerful explanation of your arguments. Then various government efforts in the directions. Be it any issue, things are not as new as you think. Already the governance system has produced various schemes. We have various bodies that are doing particular jobs. So all these things you need to remember, and some various efforts in that direction. Even some non-government organizations also do various efforts. All those you can cover here and sprinkle them in the answers. Then some various case studies. There are some national good case studies, then international good case studies. Even reports like Niti Aayog, they come up with the standard best practices. So you need to collate all those, or even some newspaper based some case studies. You need to collect them all, and maybe in a box format, if you can just write in the answer, that will give a lot of value to your answer. Then towards the conclusion, we need to give a way forward, being very futuristic and optimistic. Never take extreme sides. Some newspapers, you may have seen the authors, especially in the editorials, take very either leftist or rightist standpoint. So never get into any of these extremes. So try to base yourself in the middle, take the best of both, and try to see in a very holistic way, and give a very optimistic answer, and that should give a very good answer for the question asked. And you can use some some diagrams also if required. So instead of way forward, you can write way forward here, and just make it novel, so that the person who is checking the paper is not bored, right? Make it simple for him. And certain other things that to keep in mind before answering or making a framework of answer. have a very balanced understanding, I discussed. Then substantiation, cross fertilization, just like concept and examples, it is the same point. Try to give concepts and explain that concept with examples. Then address the demand of the question. So keeping this framework in mind, first understand and underline the various segments of the question, then answer that part of the question. That will suffice and helping you, cater to the demand of the question. And language competency, a decent language, mostly a bureaucratic language, right? Various keywords of every subjects, if we can remember and sprinkle, then that becomes a good presentation. Legibility and readability, we should not write some very hi-fi English vocabulary things. It is good to have some keywords pertinent to that particular subject, but do not make it too complex. Readable, legible, simple. They say no, KISS formula, keep it simple, stupid, like that. Then we have novelty. Novelty, adding the catching phrases or simple diagrams. I just said no, diagrams like this, or even some diagrams like this. You can just like a tree structure, make it like this. So that will add a lot of value to your answer. Then subject wise language, so each subject like polity, economy, environment, science and tech, all these even social sciences, social issues, all of them have particular language of speaking. So if you can use them accordingly, then you will be able to the examiner will feel that you are a well-read person, right? Because these are social sciences questions, the gender studies. So you need to write a descriptive answer, not very generic but pertinent to that particular subject. Then you will be able to fetch more marks. And certain keywords I discussed. Every subject has keywords associated. Try to collate them. It will come handy in sprinkling right keywords, right vocabulary